The other big news today is Tommy Robinson's just been released from prison, but he faces new accusation of harassment caused by fear of violence against two journalists in August 2024. We've spoken about Tommy beforehand. Is he a champion of free speech or a far-right provocateur whose actions fuel dangerous rhetoric? What's your view, Ben?
I'm not interested in talking about Tommy Robinson, the man. I'm only interested in talking about individuals insofar as they are examples or represent the state of the country. So, when you talk about Tommy Robinson and the political motivation for his incarceration, and I believe he was a political prisoner, I also believe similarly that Lucy Connolly is a political prisoner. And I believe that Peter Lynch himself was also incarcerated with political motives. Indeed, I would say many of the people, we've come back to Southport again, it's interesting that, but many of the people incarcerated after the protests in Southport are effectively political prisoners because it was the Prime Minister who directed the criminal justice system against them. So to the extent that Tommy Robinson represents a miscarriage of justice, he is of interest to me. But as an individual, he's no more interest to me than you are or anyone else, frankly, Andrew. I love you to bits, but you know what I mean from a political perspective. It's not the point. I think people are very keen on both sides of the debate to are you pro or anti Tommy Robinson? It's not about Tommy Robinson. It's about what's happened to him and how it happened and why it happened. And those arguments apply equally to anyone.
Yeah, and as we often say, it's sort of sunlight is the best disinfectant. And actually, shining
Absolutely.
a whole thing on the reasons for Tommy being incarcerated. You and I agree that we think the punishment was too long, but the court made it clear that if he deleted the particular video, then his sentence would be reduced. He'll come out earlier. So there was no surprise there, was there?
No, no surprise. Of course, he was incarcerated for showing the video. That was the offending act because it breached the injunction. But the reason I felt he was a political prisoner was because that breach was a breach of a civil action. And it was the horrible, despicable, wretched Lord Hermer who intervened in the case and effectively elevated it into a criminal action against Tommy Robinson. And, incarceration then became a possibility and then a reality.